Let me bring you in. You are promoting the digital agenda in Europe and France in particular. We listened to Kaima Karou talk about the success story of Estonia. By and large, on a European scale, also, of course, with a particular side on France. How do you evaluate the digital performance on the part of Europe throughout this pandemic?
Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for covering this really exciting and important topic at this time. It's a long story to tell, but in a few words, I believe that we've been struggling a little bit with the digital transformation in general, and obviously the pandemic came as a shock, and not only because of all the health issues, but also because we understood that we had to accelerate the changes. And my belief, and I'm more and more convinced that it may be right, is that 2020 may be perceived in the history books as the year of the digital revolution, where it started. Because suddenly we realized that we could completely change our behaviors, but we had to deal with new forms of regulation, new forms of management, new skill sets, and we had definitely to take this more seriously. I was quite interested in what was just said about actually both Catalonia and Estonia, because I believe that what they did in these spaces is really to completely redefine their level playing field. And in a lot of countries, I think the issue is you have administration, even companies that are working in silos, and therefore it's extremely difficult to synchronize all the stakeholders to make them as one. And I think one of the issues that we faced to really address this revolution is very similar to the one that existed in the past. When we had the second industrial revolution, the electricity one, for instance, we had the bad regulation, we had not the good financing of the economy. We don't have the people who had the skill set to deal with it, So we had to invent completely new forms of things. And let's say that the mandatory school, public mandatory school, came out of the need to have people better trained in general. And we are facing similar trends, meaning we need to really take a massive lot of people and to retrain these people. We need to completely change the regulation so that we can, for instance, work remotely. The labor regulation is probably not the best in most of the European country to deal with this. Right. And to make it short, I believe it came as a sudden shock for a politician and regulator that it's not incremental, it's a breakthrough, and it has to be done ASAP to get into this new era.